We look like fucking couple of Hasidic Jews and shit right now.
Oh, I'm far from it. I'm uncircumcised. They don't even let me in the country, bro. One time I tried to go and I went off in the foreskin detector right there in the airport. Dude, I did a gig one time. It was in Livermore. I'm trying. Oh, Mean Dave used to run it right there, and I forget the name of it. It was okay, you know. Hard. Sometimes, some people would be there. Sometimes it'd be like dead empty, and it was on Eventbrite, so you get random people, and like 5 Hasidic Jews came, like women. Oh, you know, women. They didn't have the hats or anything, but they came. They're visiting from Israel. They were the only
Shit.
people there, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I just talked about the movie Munich, how great it was.
The Eric Bana's the shit.
Yeah. Oh, and the beginning of my set, I said a moment of silence for the 1972 Olympic massacre. You know, a bunch of them got shot. You know, Argo. Hey, speaking of Argo, I'm here. This is Alex Whitty with Midnight in the Bay, episode 170, and I'm here with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's like freaking mutated, retarded half brother.
I feel like you look like his brother. You wanted to get in acting, but instead you got into being a manager at Walmart.
Yeah, and alcoholism. Yeah.
Well, Ben Affleck loves alcohol.
That's true. That's the family tie. That's what we share.
Yeah. You're the one that got him into it behind the house. But anyways, it's not Ben Affleck's brother. It's Eric Power. But honestly, if you did a DNA check, you do look like him. Kind of.
Thanks. I wish I had any of his success, talent.
At least I'm
comparing.
At least I'm comparing you to a good-looking actor. Everyone compares me to like Chris Farley, Meryl Streep. I mean,
no, the first time I saw you, I was like, everyone ever tell you like Tom Segura? Like, everyone probably says that shit to you.
I get that at Subway the other day. Some Indian kid was like, "You Tom Segura."
You should just play along with it. See if it actually is freaking.
I should do. I know. I didn't, and I didn't even say it was a comedian. I should have, because obviously he likes comedy. You know, but I pussed out. I was like, "Can I just get my sandwich?" But yeah, I should send something to Tom and just say, "Hey, look at people say I look like you." Maybe he'd book me on a show or something.
Something at least freaking. Just do something, and they'll put you at least on the podcast at the opening. They'll at least talk shit.
Yeah, make fun of me on the podcast. At least people would follow or talk shit.
Yeah,
you know, people are already talking shit. Just follow, you know.
Exactly.
Oh my god. So where are you? Underground, or are you above ground? Where do you live?
I'm in Empire, California, which is like the fucking. It's like Modesto's taint.
Oh my! Is it worse than Modesto, or is it like?
Oh, it's worse than Modesto. Like outside of my house right now, there's 2 tweakers that they're about to fight probably, but they're like in the standoff right now. It's a daily thing. Yeah.
You live in a western town.
Yeah, no, it is the Old West. They're gonna have a duel, but with copper wires.
Oh my god, copper piping. Yeah.
It's like that's their fucking lightsabers and shit. It's just freaking.
I knew a guy that's how he made his money, is he stole copper piping. He had hella good coke.
Dude, I wonder what do they pay for it now? It was still back then. It was freaking ridiculous for the piping if you can get it.
Yeah, I don't know. He obviously was making pretty good money because he always had like pounds of the powder, you know.
Shit, I'm in the wrong business.
I know, but he's probably not doing it anymore. I doubt he's gonna do that for 25 years and then retire with a gold watch, you know.
He's the Scarface of freaking copper piping. Freaking.
Oh shit. Yeah, one time I thought he was so cool. I decided to spend Christmas Eve with him and the powder instead of my family. Bad place.
You made it home, whatever.
Yeah,
it was a white Christmas.
I opened up my gifts in the morning, which was coal. They didn't give me shit. They're mad. But things are better now. I just take off Christmas Eve and come back at an earlier time,
Just less shiny and shit. I only use one nostril now for Christmas. Just
Yeah, I clean the nose now. Yeah.
Give yourself one of those. What's that shit where they run the water up and it comes out one side? You give some.
Oh yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, that's the more sophisticated. But I used to just put a puddle of water in my hand and then that's how you get the jerk. That's how snorting water is a hell of a thing. But you have to have something else in your system for that to be a thing, But the good old days. Did you ever used to party back in the day or not?
I've always just been a liver guy. And I'm trying to slow down with that because the other night,
liver guy. You eat liver?
No, I drink.
Oh, there we go.
It's a problem. I fucking the other night.
Cheers.
I had a meeting with
problems.
The other night, I was with this venue and we're talking about upcoming show, whatever. It was a brewery, and we're talking. And he was like, "Okay, have a beer." I was like, "I'm gonna stay for 30 minutes. I'm gonna stay for 30 fucking minutes. That's it. Then I'm gonna bounce. Have one beer. One beer turns into two. Two turns into 12." And we're talking like 7%ers and shit, 8%ers, whatever. Like a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
I leave, and now I live in Empire, which is from this place, I don't know, like north or southeast.
Okay.
I somehow ended up in Patterson. I drove, first of all, which is not the coolest thing, but whatever happens. So again,
you allegedly drove. You allegedly drove. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was and it was kind of a wake up call for me because I was talking to my girl or whatever, and then she was like worried. So she called my roommate and she was like, "Hey, he said he doesn't know where he is. He's lost. And I can't understand what he's saying."
It's like talking to a toddler.
Oh yeah, no. And then they called me. They're, "Where you at?" I was like, "In the country." That's all I could say.
God.
And they didn't know. And literally, somehow I traveled like 40 minutes away from where I was.
Oh no.
And when they found me, I was slumped over asleep with my car on the side of the road, and like, yeah, it was a rough night.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe I need to slow it down a little bit.
Hey, those are the posts I want to see on Facebook. Those are the humble brags I want to see.
Oh no, I got a picture for you. This is what they fucking sent me. My roommate. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, this is how we found you, asshole."
Oh,
and it was bad. It was
fucking Van Wilder.
Here. This is I don't know if you could see. Okay, but.
Oh my God! Yeah, we could see. Okay, Jesus Christ! Call this guy's mom.
Yeah. Oh, she knows. It's been a thing for a while.
She was in the back seat.
She's like, "Again?" I'm like, "Fuck, what are you gonna do?"
But at least you pulled over. That's the whole thing. The best thing you can do is to pull over and just chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I got lucky. Like I said, I'm not testing my luck anymore. This is why, because. I guess right when they got there, the guy, there was some car was rolling up and they were about getting out of the car. They were going to check on me. And for sure I was going to the clink, had my roommates not pulled up. And so I was like, okay,
yeah.
This is it for me. So now I'm going to be, now I'm only going to binge drink if I have a driver. So
yeah, you know what I don't get about people is they need to mind their fucking business. I would never pull over and check on some body hunched over on a car.
Right, I would just say he's drunk. He's being responsible, going to sleep. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, as long as the car's not upside down. You know what I mean? You're sleeping. And here's the other thing I think about. What if someone just stabbed you and he's like in the woods or something, and then you pull up like a dumb fuck? Ooh. That's how it is in horror movies, right? They pull up like, oh, wait, there's blood on the ground. Oh, there's a decapitated head. Let's go look. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Just mind your fucking business, like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, like if anything, like, just, you could call in something if you needed to, but even then, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay attention enough to do that. Because I'm probably going to be drunk while I'm buying.
Right. I saw a guy. Yeah. I saw a guy, his car was flipped, but he was outside of the car, like sitting there. I think he had blood coming down his head, but I'm like, fuck that. I am not stopping. Someone will call it in. You know what I mean? There's enough people in California. There's more people in California than most fucking countries. You know what I mean? Like, someone's going to come by.
There's a better Samaritan than me. I can't. I'm not a good Samaritan. I'm like Samaritan. Like there's no. I don't
I'm not
care.
a hero. This is how I pay my percentage of hero-ness. This is how I do it. I did the other day. I helped out an old lady with a shopping cart. Oh, can I put your shopping cart away? That's how I do it. That's it. I'm great at that. But you're asking me to climb in a car and yank people out. I can't fucking do that. I'm not trained for that. You know, a lot of people, they die helping people. I'm not dying. I'm not dying right now. You know what I mean?
I got multiple kids that depend on my child support. Like I can't. I can't. That can't go.
They want to at least see you the once a year. They do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like they get me that every other weekend, and it's like, man, like I don't want to give them any less than that.
Right,
so,
right.
Well, I mean, sometimes I do if I have other things to do. What are you gonna do? It's just, I feel like if they really needed me, they could, go on my Instagram. They'll see a picture.
They're old enough.
Well, my oldest kids are. My oldest is gonna be 21.
But what's your youngest?
Oh, like 7. He's special needs, but whatever. What's he needs? Like, he doesn't even know what he needs. Just special needs. So like, it's like,
yeah, he's like a toddler. You just give him a ball and he's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just starts like tugging at things. Like, okay, here you go. Like, freaking.
Yeah, is he full on special needs or is he?
Nah. He just autistic, and he's like the autistic, like the kids that we would just been
cool.
like, oh, yeah.
That's
he's like
cool.
he's like the back in the day we would just be like, oh, those kids are kind of weird. Like, just kind of a little different. Like, he's really into one thing, and then he'll just be obsessed with that. But he's fully like he speaks fine. He doesn't bite people.
That's like me. I'm just into comedy. I'm not into anything else. You know what I mean? Don't give me a guitar. Don't tell me to read a book. I just want to do comedy. I might be
Asperger
autistic.
Alex over here, freaking.
Seriously, I can relate, dude. I could relate to your kid. That's cool too. And you know what? A lot of autistic kids, they're actually smart and they're successful.
Oh yeah, no.
I think Mark Zuckerberg's autistic. You know what I mean? A lot of these tech guys I see, they're really, dude. I have a cousin. He's out there, but he's smart as fuck. You know what I mean? A lot of the normal people, they're dumb. They're like blue collar people. They're like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bullshit jobs, still to pursuing a dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dreams are stupid. Dreams are so stupid, dude. Dude, I think about that every day. I'm like, why am I still trying to write jokes? And I should just play video games and chill, enjoy life.
I was thinking about everything. I literally, I'm like, no one cares what I say. Not one person to go on stage. I'm like, why the fuck am I here?
That is so true.
Like when I get booked for a show, I'm like, really? Like, that's like my response. I'm like, you've never seen me before, obviously.
Well, I think it's not. I think it's like the performance is the addiction. You know what I mean? Because once you're up there, it's fucking great. It's one of the best things ever. And you can say crazy, weird shit and people laugh and it's normal. You know what I mean? Or like you were just saying, like being hunched over in the car, like that would be funny on stage, but you say that to your grandparents or a family reunion, you're like, Jesus Christ, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if I say that in a circle of comics, they're like, oh man, that's freaking, it's like they're looking for punchlines in that. If I say anywhere else, like, you need help.
Yeah, there you go. That's a joke you could take right there for your hunched over. But yeah, man, I want shit to open up.
Me too.
I mean,
man.
you guys are pretty open up there. I mean, I came out for that show in Modesto, and I walked in. I'm the only one wearing a mask. People were looking at me like I had a penis written on my forehead.
They looked at him, and then the whole room said "lib cuck." That's what they looked at you, and they all yelled simultaneously.
They're like, this asshole voted for Biden for sure. You know what I mean? He's got Camilla's t-shirt. But yeah, I mean, that was a trip. I felt like I was in Texas or something. I wore the mask just because up here in the Bay, they make you paranoid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You walk into the grocery store and pull down your mask, so you do the face scan on your phone to open a password thing up, and people go, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You're exposing." It's too much around here. That's why I don't like to shop or be around people. I go shopping like at midnight because I don't want to be around. I want to be around the guys stocking shit. They never say shit. They got the headphones in. They're going like this to Aussie, you know?
Dude, so wait, so have you had COVID yet?
So my wife had COVID.
Okay.
She didn't quarantine. We had sex, you know, because it was it was a full moon, so she opened it up, and married life, and nothing happened. I didn't get anything. My son didn't get anything. We got tested multiple times.
Because your son was there during the sex too, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. The dog didn't get anything. Grandma with the camera didn't get anything. But but her test could have been false. You know what I mean? Because she didn't really have any symptoms. You know what the worst part of? She broke her foot. That was the worst part. When she found out she had COVID, she did something with the trash can and tripped over it. And that was more of a thing than the actual COVID, But I had the time off. My work didn't want me coming in.
Oh yeah, no. Like I actually had COVID back in June.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I had. Oh my God.
Well, I had it, and so for me, the first day, I was like, it felt like a bad hangover. Right? It was just coming out both ends, Second day,
did you drink the night before? So did you think it was drinking?
Well, no. So the person I was like seeing at the time, she had it, so I knew I was going to get it because she had it bad. Okay. And so the next day, I just felt kind of like tired and like all lethargic and shit. And by the third day, I was like, okay, I'm fine. That was it. But then yesterday, but like I said, but then like I just went to a funeral yesterday. One of my best friends died from the shit. So, and he was 35 and healthy.
Oh, so that was the guy when I did the show. That was the guy that died that day.
Yes.
And then you had to do a set and run a show and shit.
Man, that was the worst.
That's horrible.
I was like, I went up there and like, I was like, I don't know. I know what I said. I got through it, but I just told all you guys like, hey, no one could bomb tonight except for me because I can't do any time between you guys. So like, I should have had someone else host, but then I was like, yeah.
But it probably made you feel a tiny bit better.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a distraction, so it was cool. It was
right.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Good thing it would have been awkward if you brought it up, like, hey, glad you guys are out here. Like, my friend just died. Like, that would have been
that would have been the funny thing to do. That's what I should have done. Like, hey, anyone else with a friend today? No,
he would have liked it.
Oh yeah, he would have loved it because he was he was at all the shows. He was like, he was diehard.
And he died from COVID.
Yeah.
Did he have any other whatever conditions?
Nah, and he was fine. He worked in the healthcare field, so he was exposed to a lot. Yeah. But it was just like literally we were busting his balls. Actually, the day before he got really sick, I was talking shit to him because he was we had this group text.
Talking shit to him, calling him a pussy and shit.
We had this group text, and he was just like, man, I can't wait till I'm done with COVID so I can get the vaccine. And I was like, dumb shit, you already have the vaccine. Like, I was like, then he died. And I felt like an asshole.
It's fucked up, but you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh.
That's the thing. The way I look at it is this, man. It's just like, we can sit like we spent the last like 2 days being sad, went to like a viewing and the funeral and all that shit. But it was just like, and then last night we all got together and we were hanging out, and then we just started just talking shit, busting balls. And I was like, that's how you heal, man. That laughter is the way you heal. Making fun of shit, I don't know. For me, I do comedy because I don't know how to deal with my regular emotions, so I have to turn everything to a fucking joke. Morbid as fuck, whatever. That's what I have to do. Because I don't know how to process things regularly. So
I am so with you.
Yeah.
I am so with you. I think that's why we get into this. I like to joke around too much. My wife has to say, like, Jesus Christ, can you like chill out? We're at grandma's funeral right now. I was at my grandpa's funeral laughing because, I'd rather laugh than cry.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like I've been working. I was working on this bit on stage. It wasn't even a bit. It was like literally like talking about how like I was in therapy and my therapist was like with my issues and shit. She was just like, and I was telling her about like when I was younger, and she was like, "Did anything happen?" I was like, "Well, there was this one trip. I went to Washington when I was like 6, and my uncle, and I got vague memories of it. Blacked out. She's like, I'm pretty sure you're molested." And I was just like, I don't know. I don't think so. She's like, I'm pretty sure you were. I'm like, she'll think back. Like, why the fuck would I want to think back to that? Like, why would I want to remember it? And so now I was like, oh yeah. But now I think about it, like getting molested and like there's funny shit in there. I mean, like, you know, it's a bit. Like, I was like, so that's what I'm doing now. I was like, I don't want to think about it, but I'll make a joke about it.
But it for sure happened.
Yeah, I mean, at least he thought I was cute. Like, at least, like, you know, like he didn't pick on my cousins apparently, so it was like I was the chosen one. So. Yeah, that's cool.
But it's weird that she like was like, think about it. It's really
odd because she wants to feel it. It's like stupid. Like, why do I want to feel that? Dude, I felt it the first time, obviously, I guess.
my mom did some shit like that the other day. She did like a therapy session drunk. Parents will do that. You'll get drunk with your parents and then they'll tell you, you need to do this with your life. Like, what are you doing? My mom, she was so drunk. She was like, your son's obese. She kept saying it. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll stop feeding him, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken. But, he's not even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, my whole thing with therapists is I've had them before. I don't like the surprise ones like my mom did. I was in Tahoe and she did this, dude. I'm like chilling by the fire. She's like, your son's obese. I was like, geez. But I've had therapists before where like they just go to rehab. That's they're like lazy. Some of them, there's some bad ones. All the ones I've had, they're lazy. And you have to open up yourself to them. And then at the end of it, they're like, I think you need to go to rehab. Like, no, I don't. I think you need to help me. You know what I mean? I think we need to do some work here.
I could have just went to rehab and skipped these steps. Like, why? I'm here because, like, you know, I'll try to process something. I guess they say it's helpful.
But you know what it is? It's you just saying stuff out loud. Like the crazy part is you had that stuff that you were suppressing and not wanting to think about, or maybe it was hazy. And she was like, think about it. And you're like, well, you just said it out loud. It's crazy. Yeah. You could do that in the car.
And I still think she's full of shit. Like, my thing is like, I don't know. I was like, I was like, there's no way of knowing and whatever.
Yeah.
He's dead, so I can't ask him. Like, hey, did you ever put your finger in my ass? I don't know. Like, it's like, what do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I have something like that has to do with like cousins, and like I don't know how you bring that up. You know what I mean? Because it could be it could just be like a paranoia.
Which side of it were you on?
So basically it was an innocent thing, but basically I went in the closet with my girl cousin, like my two other cousins forced us in there naked, but nothing happened. We just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So just chilling naked, like, oh yeah, that's not bad. That's, you know, it's like, hey, well, then
that's when the memory goes black though. But I don't.
Oh, okay.
I think I would have remembered if something happened. You know what I mean?
How old were you?
Young, maybe 8, 9.
He's a 32.
Last year. Yeah. But anyways.
8, 9?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, you know, it's funny. Comedians are so easy to bring this stuff up. They're like, hey, let's talk about the most fucked up. By the way, I drove home drunk the other day. Like, what?
So far, we're like 10 minutes in. We've talked about blacked out driving, being molested, special needs kids. Like, fuck, man, is this fucking Oprah and shit?
We're covered. We should just end it. That was the episode. Yeah, but you know, I have done that on here, and yeah, I don't have thousands of listens. It's a lot of random people and then friends, but at the same time, I've gotten bits from doing the podcast. And then talking the shit out, it is therapeutic. And I'd rather do this and have fun than actually see a therapist.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many years have you been doing the podcast now?
So I started doing the podcast maybe 2017, but like didn't consistently do it until maybe 2018. And then a guy from high school started a website because he was doing a podcast and he wants to get into like writing for like companies, you know, like, and so he thought having a podcast in like a company, sorry, I'm burping, can maybe help his chances of getting a writing career or whatever I wasn't listening when he was telling me what he wanted to But ADD. But so anyways, so then I started consistently doing it, and then like I decided to do comedy, and I still have my first set, and that was so I'm coming up on 3 years. But
Okay.
I've always been this guy, say crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like one of
Yeah.
my I did a joke before I started comedy that bombed so hard. I was at a wedding, and it was the after party at someone's house, and everyone's getting drunk and people are like making out, and I'm talking to someone, and then like that person leaves and some other people come in, and it seems like it's kind of like people are going to other rooms, like people are fucking, right? And I don't know where my wife is, right? Hopefully she's not fucking anyone. She'll tell me in 20 years, hey, there's a Filipino guy, he kind of looked like
When
you.
you're in marriage counseling, you're seeing a therapist.
Yeah. But anyways, so I'm standing there and I'm like, who's fucking? Like, I thought that was funny to say that. And people were like, Jesus Christ, who is this weirdo who says that? But people didn't know I was like the funny guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Only my friends knew. And like one of them was around, and he didn't back me up. He's kind of a puss. Ryan, you little rat. And so, anyways, I looked like a weirdo, and that was kind of like bombing with bad jokes. And I guess once you get in a comedy, people know you're a comedian. You could do that kind of shit. You can
Yeah.
get away with saying crazy shit at functions, and people are like, "Oh yeah, he's a comedian." I think I yelled "killed Jews" and Hitler, like both of them. I confused people, and people were like, "Who is this confusing fuck?" And then someone said, "Oh, he's a comedian," and it's like a write-off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But never. I don't like telling people I'm a comedian. I rather have
Right.
someone
Yeah, I
say
never
I'm a
do.
comedian. And then even then, I'm like, that's kind of weird, because one time I said I was a comedian, and I told one of my jokes I tell on stage that does well, and the guy was like, he was like, really? You're a comedian? I was like, I'm gonna go hang myself. You know what I mean? I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
go.
because it's the weirdest thing, because if like people find out you do stand up, like I don't tell you I don't do a comedian, because to me I'm not good enough to say I'm a comedian at this point. I've been a couple of years
Yeah,
in, whatever, but like it's like they want you to do bits, but the thing is, like, they want street jokes. They want
right,
those, like, oh, two Jews and a priest walking up.
right,
But they want that kind of shit. And it's like, no, like, I tell stories. I tell the
right,
long form shit,
right.
and so it doesn't translate to just like you and random person at the fucking party.
Also, I think when you're up on stage, you're funnier than you are even at parties, because you have to be funny.
Yeah.
Like shit's gonna come out of you didn't even know. Maybe not all the time, but I found that I'm better with strangers. I'm better with
Yeah.
making strangers laugh than maybe some people I know, and they're like, "Oh, I think I've heard this one before." Like I'm not, like I'm headlining a gig Saturday, the 27th in Sacramento. If you want to show up,
Okay.
I'm sure you can drive back there, hunch over. They'll have plenty of booze. But
Fuck
I'm
shit.
heading. Well, you can meet the booker too. But anyways, I have a guy coming out from Pleasanton, my hometown, with his wife or girlfriend. They're getting a hotel, and they're gonna come see me. But the whole getting the hotel and staying overnight, I'm like, eesh, it's kind of pressure. You know what I mean? I'm like, eesh, but
This is
fuck
your first
it.
time headlining?
No, it's my second time.
Second time. Okay.
I
You did
just
recently the other time.
yeah, and I was fine. I was fine. I like it better because you have more time to work stuff out you've always wanted to work out.
Yeah.
And my whole philosophy too is everything that I write that works, I've said in front of people, on stage, or off stage. Like I did a story about pooping in a parking lot. And I've, just on paper, you'd be like, this guy, he's autistic, maybe worse, you know what I mean? But I've told that story to a group of people, and I remembered how much they laughed. And I'm like, well, if they laughed, I can get other people to laugh at it. So I fucking did it, and it worked. You know what I mean? So I kind
Yeah.
of, that's the whole thing, is really paying attention, even in your daily life when you're not doing shows or mics, and seeing what works with interactions with people and stuff. So that helps with my confidence. If I can make someone laugh just with a little line, I'll add that in. Like I just did 13 minutes on Friday at Mutiny Radio, which was dog
Okay.
shit. It was dog shit.
It's over at San Francisco, right?
Yeah, it was dog shit before the pandemic because just comedians would go, and it was a small room. But now it's outside. It's a bigger venue because it's a whole sidewalk. They're getting more and more people, and I think I did well because I just said stuff I've said in front of friends and stuff that made them laugh, you know, and was
And then
vulnerable. If something didn't work, I would I would say like, comedians. I had a joke that didn't work, and I said, "This is the fucked up thing about comedians because people will say that's not funny, but we have to still test it on stage." At
yeah,
least with me, I something I find funny, even if other people don't find it funny, I will do on stage selfishly, you know.
and you keep doing it. And if you think something's there, you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until it works.
Well,
If
and you
you
take and you
because you
take
know if a bit works.
but you take then you got to take the embarrassment because I
Oh
had
yeah,
dead silence, and you have to address that on stage. Like I've seen comedians, they do jokes and it doesn't work out, and they go to the next joke. No, motherfucker, you have to address the people that are there. I don't maybe I'm not at that level where I'm not that good, but I have to address the audience throughout my set just because it's like us hanging out. You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
you're you're doing jokes, you're doing so, and you're not just like looking up around like, hey, whatever. You're looking at him like, hey, this guy knows what I'm talking about. Hey, look at this chick. I'd bang
yeah.
her. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
no,
you're, yeah,
I think from the first time I saw you, was a Rooster Teeth the first time.
yeah. That's where we
But
met.
from them to the last time when you did the show Modesto, like, oh no, it was like the growth that I saw just in that time was like crazy. Like you just seemed so comfortable, just like up there working the crowd, like just kind of in your
Yeah.
element. Just yeah,
Well, Rooster T, it's a lot harder because that's like shorter time,
oh yeah, 4 minutes.
competition,
Yeah,
and you know and also I got nothing else going on. Like I said, I don't really have any other hobbies but listen to while I work. I drive for a living, so I listen to podcasts, but I listen to comedians talking about comedy. Like I
yeah,
don't like I got sick of Joe Rogan and all that. I like ones that actually help you. And then I listen to like history shit on YouTube because a
okay,
bit could just I'm trying to inform myself. I'm trying to be the best I can because you can listen to other people and other comedians talk about their life, and you're not gonna get anything really from it as you try to be your own comedian, your own self. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I want to be as authentic as possible. And you start listening to all the other podcasts and you start thinking like them, you know?
And that's a big thing. I think yeah, because I'm a little. I just hit what 2 years in
We're probably the same.
December. Yeah, I hit 2 years in December or whatever, and and so for me, the one thing I had going for me though was I started older. And so when I
Yeah.
started, I'd already been divorced twice. I got 3 kids, all like freaking, they all look, my household looks like the fucking United Nations. Like you know, I got, alcoholic dad. I got all kinds of shit. Like I just had life kick me in the dick enough where it's just like, I don't know, where the young kids starting out, when you're starting out like a 20, 21, 22, it's like the kids I started with, they don't have much to talk about yet because they don't have,
Right.
nothing's happened to them yet.
I have friends like that. I have friends that are young comedians and they haven't had the experiences, or if they have, they don't know how to make it funny yet.
Yeah.
Which I still have stuff too. I have a story about pissing on my friend's Purple Heart. I don't know how to make funny yet. I was drunk. You know how you piss? You think you're in the bathroom?
That's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard.
Oh, well, then maybe I might have to play. Dude, he talks about it to other people too. I just don't know how to. I get nervous because I don't know if the story is going to come off funny. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the true act of bravery that you did. So like,
I'm basically done an ISIS thing, the equivalent of ISIS. But yeah, so we have a lot of stuff we don't know how to make funny yet, and it takes time. And I think people that drop out of comedy, they're not patient enough.
right,
They're
or
like,
or
oh,
it
I
was
want
never
it
for them
now.
to begin with.
Yeah.
The thing is, if if you, I see all the time, like the people who are like they start, they're like do 2 years, 3 years, and then they quit,
Yeah.
and then it's like they come back 3, 4 years later, but it's just like it's not for you. If you quit, then it's not. If you like, I always talk about, if you go up there and you eat shit one night and you don't want to get right back on stage, then it's probably not for you.
Yeah. No, 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 totally. And if you get right back on stage, you'll feel better because
Mm-hmm.
you'll probably do way better because you're mad at yourself. But that's the whole thing with comedy is it's trial and error. You're
Yeah.
gonna fail. But we fail all the time. I fail all the time, like I just told you. The great thing is the more you do it, the more you have jokes where if you fail with the new ones, you have those old jokes to fall back on and it's not that bad of a bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not as bad as when you first started and you had one joke. You know what I
What,
mean?
what's your worst bombing?
Oh.
I love hearing a good bomb story.
Well, you know what's funny is I had a really bad bomb, and a guy that performs all the time at Tommy T's saw the bomb and loved it. He found it funny, and now he hooks me up with shows. Jeremy Curry.
Okay. Yeah.
He saw me bomb so bad. I wish I had him here. He tells people about it. It was a new show in Pacifica, which you know where Pacifica is. It's kind of
Yeah.
like by
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco, yeah,
Yeah.
but on the water. I
Yeah.
mean, and
Cold as
it
fuck.
cold as fuck. It looks like kind of like Maine, like East Coast. It's
Yeah.
foggy, big rocks out of the ocean, kind of like Goonies, or Lost
Yeah.
Boys, right? And this one chick, she started the show at this tavern, right? Big place, and everyone goes up. We're getting paid. It's an open mic, but she's like, "I'll pay the comics."
Shit.
It was so weird. I don't think she knew what she was doing. Right, right. That was the good thing about some of those
You
bookers.
said bums walking
Yeah.
up off the street. Oh, I can just talk shit and you're giving me money? Okay, cool.
Well, it was like any other open mic. Most open mics, actually, 99% of them, they don't pay you. This
Yeah.
one did, and it was new. I think that's why she was paying $25, whatever. I worked over in that area at the time, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And so I go up there. I don't really have any material. Okay, it just happens. Like you just have bad nights,
Yeah.
and this was the worst night though, because I didn't know really in the beginning. Like I'm really looking at myself like, what is funny? And in the beginning, you really don't know. You think everything's funny, and it's not. And you can even talk about depressing things, and it's not funny. Like I was talking about an old drug addiction I had, and it wasn't funny. And this lady goes, get off the stage, get a professional up there. And I just go like, what's your deal? She was like fat. And I was like, what, you've not been fucked since your dad or your uncle fucked you when you were 10? Like some shit, some bad. I mean, it wasn't funny. It was mean. And I swear to God, and I said something else at her, like, fuck you. And the bartender came up around. They were at the bars. It was a bunch of chubby girls at the bar, and I love chubby girls. Okay, I'm married to one, and hope she's not listening. And she does, deep down inside. And they looked angry. They just some of those chicks. They're just angry. Whatever. They could have been jealous. Whatever it was, and the bartender came around and came up on stage, and I thought he was gonna punch me. That's how committed I am from the beginning with comedy. I'm willing to let a bartender come up and kind of look at him. I was kind of looking at him, but I thought this guy was gonna punch me. But I held the mic. I stayed up there, and he's like, "You need to stop right now, or I'm gonna kick you off the mic." And I stopped. But the worst part is like I got off stage, the lady was lighting me, and I still get paid, but she made me go back in to apologize. And let me tell you, I wish I never apologize.
Yeah. No, never.
I
Never,
will
never.
never apologize for a joke or the way I react on stage ever again, because I went over there and they didn't give a fuck. And I think they said something uh, um fucked up to me. I wasn't really paying attention. I probably need to talk to a therapist and find dig down deep. But I remember going home with that $25 though, and feeling very upset. And Jeremy Curry walks out. This is what he told me. Jerry Curry walks. He's laughing at me, fucking up, and telling that lady that thing. And one of my comedian friends is out there, right? And they're all kind of like, "Oh my god, what?" And my comedian friend Jordan, he goes, "Man, he said he was gonna take it easy tonight." And you know what? I've had another bomb where this lady, it was in West Oakland, and you would think you're in Berkeley in the 1960s after Vietnam, because this lady, I talk about ICE. I had a joke because my wife's Latina, and I had a joke about how I told her family they're having a gathering. I told them they asked me to bring something, and I told them I was gonna bring ICE. It was just kind of a play on thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this lady stood up and she was like, "My friend's illegal, and like, you can't do that joke." And I'm like, "Why is she here then? Why are you announcing that? If you have, I wish, see, now I would have got into her and said, 'You're announcing your friend's illegal. You're the dumbest person.'" But then I didn't know to joke around and keep joking. I would get serious on stage, maybe because I was really nervous. I'm getting more comfortable. And sometimes when you're really nervous and get embarrassed by someone out of the blue, like I was doing well and she just embarrassed me, I got pissed and I started yelling. And I was like, my wife's Latina. Fuck you, you stupid. And if you do that, you ruin a show. I was like in the middle of the show. I was like, fuck you, burn in hell, die, fuck. And like they have to keep doing the comedy show, right? But the comedians, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm burning this whole fucking place down, right? And the comedians did great. I think another a black comedian went up after me and was like, "I'm ICE." They recovered well, but I learned, I didn't like how I let her get to me, and I embarrassed myself. You know what I mean?
Oh, like I had my worst bomb. Have you ever done one of those We Own the West shows? Tyson,
No.
Paul's. He goes. He does
I know
shows
him.
all up in the state. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did his show in LA over at the Haha, and then he did one up north in Sacramento. And I had just done the Ice House, right, in LA. So like I'm new, but the Ice House, it was a good night. I got big laughs. I was like, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
How
much time?
I was doing at the Ice House. I did. It was 10.
Okay.
It was just like
they pay you.
It was what?
They pay you?
No. I got lucky because I happened to know the people throwing the show, and it was like this lineup was like you had Jerry Garcia, who had like an HBO special.
I love that guy. He's so funny.
Yeah, Morgan J. You had all these guys who were like,
that's legit.
They're doing things or not.
That's legit.
And then me. But it was they're
like, who the fuck is this guy?
But I did good because it was at a comedy club and they came to laugh.
Hey, they're like, why is this guy slump over at the end of his set?
Yeah. He's like fucking my ass had to so then I go to Sacramento and I'm like, okay, I feel myself. It was supposed to be at the Punchline, but then the Punchline, for some reason, they had this bar next to it, the callback bars and shit like that. And so it wasn't at the Punchline, it was at the bar next door.
Okay.
So I'm feeling myself a little bit. A couple comics went up, did okay. I go up. Now the crowd, they're all there for this one comic. She's like, her set, she just talks about being a bisexual social worker from like SAC. Whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. So imagine that crowd. They're all there for her.
They got the nose ring. They got the blue hair, half shaved.
Everyone's offended. Like I go
triggered.
There,
everyone's triggered.
I go up there. I think I made some joke about Native Americans. It was something stupid. I can't remember. Not one laugh. I was like, oh shit. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, I'll play the hits. So I go to the stuff that always works.
Yeah.
Nothing. And this goes on. 5 minutes goes by. I'm dripping with sweat because like I haven't got a laugh yet. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm gonna go to like I was like, I'm just gonna go to wherever my best bit is and see if I get a laugh. I got a courtesy chuckle. I was like, son of a bitch. I was so flustered. I walk off stage. I always put my phone in the back where I record my sets, the audio.
Yeah.
I walk off stage. I forget my fucking phone up there. the host comes up, and so if someone bombs like that, the host would come up and either like just start doing jokes, get the crowd warmed back up, or just talk shit about the guy who just went up. That's fine too. This guy went up there and he told everyone, "Hey guys, just so you know, what we do up here, it's not easy, like, and I know some of us can't be funny, but it's like we're trying our best, okay? So you guys, I was like, oh my fucking god, like, what are you doing? I was just like sitting there, like, oh, just kill me now. I was like, where can I jump? Like, what window can I jump out of right now? This is the worst night of my life.
By the way, that is so funny you said that, because that's happened to me where I've bombed and they go, "Hey guys, it's not easy being up here," and I was like, "I'm shooting you and me." You know what I mean? Like, I fucking hate you right now.
And mind you, this host was bombing all night. Like,
Yeah,
I've
I don't
only
like
seen
that
this
shit.
host bomb, and so it was just like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
it was the worst feeling ever.
Can I tell you the sick part about comedy is you need that.
Oh, 100%. That was the best night. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Like, you
100%.
need bad things to happen to you. And the other fucked up thing is you need bad things to happen to you or weird things to happen to you for your comedy.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're not out there experiencing life, you're not going to have comedy. You know what I mean? I feel like people that have a hard time writing jokes and they're in a slump, they're not doing something. Go to the fucking ocean. Go buy a bagel. Go do something something weird could happen and you could talk about it.
You could walk down fucking Market Street for an hour.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
You'll come up with something. Dude,
Yeah.
there's been times where before gigs, the anxiety and stuff, I've come up with something. Or in the room, waiting to go up, something funny, or the comedian before me talking about something that's related to me, But that's fucked up. I don't like people that say, oh, I might have to come up with something, maybe you, like, because we don't like that's happened to us. Maybe we say something else when comedians bomb. It's better to go in a joke and get them back that way. I think that's more professional than going like, geez, you see that guy? He fucking sucks.
I would literally just, like, for me, like, so for me, like, it's funny, we're taking like kind of different routes, like, because you're starting the headlining route. I've been doing nothing but hosting for like last like 3 months. So every gig I've been doing, I've just been hosting, which is cool because it helps you just think on your toes constantly. And for the crowd work standpoint, it's just like, so now when I see people bomb or something happens, I just go right into the crowd right after. I just go up there and just immediately. It's all I'm doing.
Well, like, I'm not going for the headlining thing. I took my shirt off in a YouTube video, a stand-up video. I was kind of like the crowd. I have a video on YouTube. It's called like Rowdy Crowd Set. And this crowd, like, people were coming up to me and going like, you fucking suck, like drunk people. And I just started like fucking with them. And then I took off my shirt and like I did at one of your shows, because if the crowd's not into it, you got to entertain, you got to do something. That's what I believe in. And just do something. If you're not doing well or something's not going right, you need to do something drastic, do something else. And whatever it takes, make it funny. Like, you know what I mean? I'll show my fucking thing if it's gonna get laughs.
I saw Bobby Lee do that at the Punchline one time. He pulled out his dick because it wasn't going so well. He's like, you guys want to see something funny? And he was like, you want to see a small dick? And he just pulled out his dick right there on stage at the Punchline. Oh. And then like, and then he went up to like the biggest, like hugest dude in the crowd and just starts this, like, literally does a handstand and starts like freaking like puts his legs on the guy's shoulders, and the crowd just starts going wild. Like, and he got him back instantly.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, that is so crazy, but I can relate to that because you have to be all in.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like some people might not be like he wasn't the greatest joke writer, but from a performance standpoint, like, he had that crowd dying. He just did whatever he had to do to get the laugh.
I heard him talking recently about how he sucked his cousin's cock. And like when he was younger, and it's the funniest fucking thing.
Or he got molested by the guy with Down syndrome. That bit is hilarious. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the great thing about comedy is you can flip that and make it hilarious, and it makes your life better too. You're like, oh my God, people find that funny. Maybe, I mean, it's bad, but like, whatever. Life is crazy. So what? I got dealt the wrong cards. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like this. It's like you use your pain to help people get through theirs. You
Right.
try. All you're trying to do is we're trying to like heal it with laughter as opposed to fucking $150 an hour chair.
Bro, that's fucking what's her name? Mother Teresa shit. Really,
Yeah.
comedians are like Mother Teresa's in a way, to sacrifice their life and their pain to help other people. I mean, we also feel good from them laughing, though. Let's
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
honest.
No,
It's
that's
a
the thing.
high. Dude,
Oh yeah.
My favorite thing after doing well at a show is fucking and fucking oh, I feel, and I'm driving like, yeah,
Oh,
life's not that bad. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my dreams are
bumping
gonna
over in a
happen.
car on the side of the road. It's like, yeah, look at it.
Yeah, dreams aren't that bad, you know. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, my whole philosophy: do anything to get a laugh, and that way, even if you embarrass yourself, like calling yourself out for a bad joke is the best thing you do.
Yeah.
You know? So
Because no one's gonna remember what the bad bits were. They're gonna remember whatever sticks out in their mind. So if you did something crazy up there, that they're gonna like that show at that outdoor show we did.
yeah,
Everyone they probably couldn't recite one of your jokes, but he took it when you took your shirt off, the crowd went fucking crazy,
and
they'll remember that.
it was tough being up there with your shirt off. You're even more vulnerable,
Yeah,
but
elevated.
but I feel like when your back is against the corner, the only thing is to be funny.
Yeah.
You got nothing else. You know what I mean? So, anyways, you know, do what you can do. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, I want you to watch it tonight. Did you watch the Patrice O'Neill documentary?
So I have a DVR and I have to watch it. It's he was one of my favorite all time comics just in general. So like I used to watch him on Tough Crowd all the time.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Black Phillip podcast. Freaking yeah, no, he was the best on O&A. Like yeah, he was the best.
And his whole thing was it wasn't even really about the jokes. It was about telling the truth. And it's funny, like stuff you told me about like your friend dying from COVID, but like him saying something dumb before, that's funny, even though it's kind of fucked up, but that's the truth. The truth is funny.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
like I want to come up. I have two dead brothers. I would love to come up with I kind of have a joke about it, but like there's funny truth to them dying in a weird way. I have to explore. I have some ideas, but like you can go that dark and make something funny because I don't know. The truth is funny.
Well, and so like I did Pete's show in San Jose.
Okay. Oh
Vito's.
yeah. Oh yeah. I haven't done that. Is that cool?
It's a fun room, man. That room is that's
Okay.
a fun room. Pete puts on every show Pete puts on is great.
Yeah, he's a
But
nice guy.
so there was two shows back to back,
Okay.
and then he said we're not going to do the second show. We're just going to do the first show. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I'm just going to run through all the hits, 15 minutes. Cool, everything went great, awesome. He's like, hey, we're going to do the second show after all, and it's going to be the same crowd. So I was like,
shit.
Fuck, I don't know if I have 15 more minutes. So I was like, like at the time, and it was the 3-year anniversary of my dad's dying, my dad's passing, and legit. So when my dad died, he he had like this lung cancer thing, and so I always felt responsible kind of because I told him to get the surgery, and had he not got surgery, he wouldn't have the complications and whatever. So I always felt kind of guilty about that, but I was like, there's something funny there. And I was like, and I went on stage and I talked about it, but then I put like, I felt guilty. Because my dad had a massive heart attack and died. When I, told him that I said, I didn't think of the bit. I said something stupid like, I told him I was bisexual, and the crowd's like, what? And I started like playing around with the guy in the front row a little bit, like rubbing his cheeks and stuff. And I was like, I'm not bisexual. So he found out I married a Mexican who was a raging racist, like, whatever. I went on, but it worked. But I was just like, I was just like, because all I was thinking about the day was my dad dying, and it was just like, I could just fuck it. I'll just see what happens.
You have to. That's funny because like you have to make up stuff sometimes. Like comedians, that was the one thing too why I bombed that one time in Pacifica. I was too truthful. I think it's good
Mhm.
to at least for me, maybe not with Patrice, but for me is to be a little goofy, add in that humor. Like I did a joke that I thought was pretty funny recently. I came up with where I talk about I got rejected for trying to start an open mic recently, and it felt like familiar rejection because junior prom after the dance, I asked my date if she could, if we could hook up, and she said no, not interested. And I go, oh well, that's why you don't ask your cousin to prom. I didn't ask my cousin to prom. You know what I mean? Like I never asked my cousin.
That's a great setup. That's a good.
But
That's a punch.
that's a good punchline. I made it
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? And the chick I did go to junior prom with, though, we didn't hook up. So there is some truth there. You know what I
And
mean?
I think all good comedy, there's like when people are just write like, the yuck, just like the just jokey jokes, whatever. But like when you're telling stories, it's all based on the best jokes are all based on there's some truth to it. There's some
Right.
level of it. You experience something. I think because when you do that, you're more comfortable telling a joke because you actually lived it. You actually went through it.
Well, and that's the
And
whole
so,
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing too. You're like, I realized at Mutiny this past Friday, you're telling something and you're talking to the audience where like, okay, like I'm talking to you, like if it's kind of awkward, well, we're naturally used to making jokes.
Yeah.
There's your punchline. There's your joke. So you can naturally talk to the audience, and then when you're up there, you will feel like, okay, I need to have a funny moment here, and you will come up with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like you
That's what
have to. You have no choice.
So I'm
It's like,
assuming that's what happened at the P Munich
oh
show.
yeah.
So
Well,
what happened with
it was
that 15 minutes that you didn't have? What happened? You had
oh
that
so
dad joke.
literally I did that, and then I started talking to the crowd. It actually worked. I actually filled the time, and it was like I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, I ended up doing 30 minutes that night. Like broken up. But yeah, I was like,
Yeah. But
yeah.
you
But
you
I was
did
like,
it. You did a 15 new. You
yeah,
did a new
pretty much. Yeah,
15
15 stuff I had never worked out. Like some of it
because
were just conceptual, but I had never worked it out at all.
you're kind of vulnerable up there.
Yeah,
I think the more time you do comedy, and this is probably an obvious thing to say, but like the more time you do comedy, the more you are willing to take a risk, and the more you're like, whatever, like they're gonna laugh. I might get to something funny. I can feel that they don't find what I'm talking about funny. I'm gonna make it funny. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if you say something awkward, if the joke doesn't land, you're gonna make fun of that you're a comedian and we say jokes that don't land, or you're gonna jump into something else or come up with something on the spot. You're gonna make it work. You have to,
yeah.
or you make an ass out of
It,
yourself.
right. It's to me, it's just like if in those kind of moments, that's where you kind of say, okay, like how bad do I want this? I
Yeah,
literally I've seen a comic. He headlines nationally.
yeah,
Like I've seen him in LA. He was at a bar show. It was a rough crowd. He was having some audio problems, and the crowd was just being assholes. I watched this guy who's an experienced comic literally just give up on stage, where he would just say, you know what, fuck this, I don't need it. Dropped the mic and walked out. And I was just like, damn. I was like, I just lost all like the respect, where I was just like, how do you do that? Like it was like
yeah,
you make it work. You fucking make it work. I've just never seen him just
yeah.
give up and just walk out like that in a crowd.
I don't like that guy. You don't even have to tell me his name. I
Yeah.
don't like him. I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying, like, I don't believe in giving up. And here's my problem. That reminds me of this open mic I just did. So there's an open mic in Castro Valley. I don't know if you saw on Bacon or online, but they're Jeff Morris, great guy, used to be a magician in the 80s. Some of his videos are nuts. He's got like girls with the headdress. I mean, it looks official, but he runs a couple open mics, but not right now, just this one, and it's in Castro Valley. and it's a rowdy crowd. It's a rowdy crowd. You know, it's a bar. It's not really supposed to be open. It's outside. And I go up there. This is last fucking Thursday. I go up there and everyone before me, they're doing their material and people are talking. They're running through their bits. Hey, my mom, she cooks casserole. I said, oh, that smelled like shit. Who cares if no one's paying attention? Everyone's just talking. And I'm like, I can't fucking do that. I can't go through my material when no one's paying attention. I can't, maybe it's my acting's not good enough. Maybe I care too much. So when I go up there, I got to fuck with the crowd because they're not paying attention. So guess what? I have to just improv and try to wheel in a couple of my jokes. So I'm up there, I'm fucking with people. They're talking too much back. I'm saying, what is this, a podcast? And then I asked someone, what's your favorite drug? So at least I could do some of my drug jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did that, but then it was still talkative. And then one guy I'm fucking with, he's wearing camo and he's talking about, he's trying to fuck with me. Some people, it's funny, their comebacks are so lame. This guy, his comeback was, I'm going to fuck you in the ass. What kind of comeback is that? He thinks that's like a big, you know, like, oh, I got him. And he's in camo. I guess he was military because after I was done with my set, I fucked with him. I said, every guy in camo is gay. I fucked with him, called him gay, called him whatever. After my set, his brother, who's gay, by the way, weirdly, he's like good looking. The other guy in camo is like rugged, you know, got a knife on him and all this shit. He's kind of hostile, the guy, kind of the camo guy, but not too much, right? He was fucking back with me. But his brother pulls me aside. He's like, you're funny. And he was like drunk. He's like, you know, my brother, he's like one of the top snipers in the army.
Oh, shit.
And I think you need to apologize. But I have that no apology rule. And I did not apologize. So that American sniper is out there looking for me. But here's my
when
thing.
You left that parking lot, you were just like, where the fuck is he parked? It doesn't really matter because how far he was. You're fucked.
This is what I thought. If he's a sniper, I want to get as close as possible. Because they got that scope. They only get along. You know what I mean? If I'm close, they're not used to that. You know, they're not close. Yeah. No, I think the guy was just drunk. You know what I mean? And I don't think I was fucking with the guy too much. And if you're gonna make an ass of it, you know, a comedy shoot's going up. There was a couple of comedians before me. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like it, go fucking somewhere else. But that's the whole thing. You say that, and they're like, "We were here first." You know what I mean? Right. Like, you do some of these open mics, and they're like, "Okay."
You cut out.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I said, you know, I think I hit the mic, but I was saying how the show works is they'll hit the mic and they'll be like, "We're shutting off all the TVs. All the sports are over. American Hot Rod, we're turning it off. Your favorite show." And all these guys in Harley Davidson fucking leather jackets are like, "What? What the fuck? Comedy? I'm funny." And then you got to go up there. You know what I mean? That's why open mics are good. Even if you get at a high level, you'll meet these guys. Oh, I don't do open mics anymore. Fuck you. You know what I mean? I know some comedians, they won't do this open mic, and it's dog shit, but it fucking trains you because you will have a rowdy crowd. And if you're used to good crowds, you're fucked. And I feel like if you're used to rowdy crowds, you can handle any fucking crowd. You can handle a crowd that's not rowdy because now you're rowdy and you're getting them up and going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that last show, You Can't the Best, so that crowd was like loud and they were talking, but like you were able
still
to
fun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's a good room, but like half the room, it was just like, they were just. But you were able to do that. You were able to manage it because of that shit. So
well, the last show, the right side of the room was cool. The left side of the room was talkative.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but I'm telling you, Mick, that stuff is dope. I even did a joke. I was like, "Eesh!" At your show, I did a joke about how you'll never hear a Latino woman say they've had an abortion. Oh no, not an abortion, a miscarriage.
Yeah.
But some of the women, it tightened up a little bit. But see, I went into something else. You have to push the limits a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I told John Gabb, you're having John Gabb on another show. I love John Gabb. I told him, he's like, man, you really like tested out there. I'm like, you have to. You know what I mean? You have to push the envelope. I don't give a fuck. So,
and we got to get you out here again.
I want to come out. What do you got going on? April?
So 220. So I got that boardroom again on the February 25th and March 17th in Oakdale at a brewery. That's a John Gabb show.
Let me know how that goes, because that's a new one, right?
Yeah, because right now we got 4 rooms going. So we have the one you went to.
Yeah.
Then we have that brewery, the Grains of Virtue. I have an Atwater, have a Corbin Cash distillery.
Okay.
That's gonna be March 19th, and then April 1st I have Blaker Brewing and Series, another brewery, and so then I'm working on trying to get 2 more rooms, one in the Bay, one in the Sac. So
let me ask you, because I'm trying to get my own room going.
Yeah.
How do you approach it? Are you emailing? Are you going in person? Do you have a template of how you email? Like, you know what I mean?
It's literally, so out here. So me and my partner Ong, with the Fun Junkies. So
I like that guy. That guy's funny.
Yeah. So what we've been doing is we would always party, hang out, we do stuff, and so people would kind of know us, and we'd always say, hey, everyone, we'd post on social media, hey, we're gonna go party over here, everyone roll with us. Yeah. And so we just tell the businesses. So the key is this: you go to a business and we talk to them. Don't do the comic thing where like, oh, I want to do a show, and they say okay, and they say they'll ask for a budget. They want the venue to give them like $300, $500 for a budget to pay for shit. Nah, say I'm gonna sell the tickets myself. I want the door, you get the bar, and assume all the risk. And tell them whatever night you want to do, I'll pack it out. And just make it happen. And once you start doing that, you get the reputation for doing that, then places start calling you. Because right now I have we have 7, 8 places that are like trying to work with us on something, but it's 2 of us, and there's always so many comics, and there's always it's just like you don't want to have a burnout effect either. So
well, also too, if you're bringing in comics, like I do a podcast every week, I'm writing, I'm looking for new material all the time. You know what I mean? That's why I do it also, so I can do shows and it's not like a burnout thing, like you said. But you do want to get some different people in there too, but the right people. I mean, that's a hard thing too. I guess the clips is an important thing for you to get on a show. Like I've hit people up with no clip and they're like, of course they're not going to respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the clip is important. And then knowing, like you and me, you've seen me in person. That's the other thing too. I've hit up people in San Francisco and stuff. They haven't seen me recently. So they're like, no. Recently I had someone say no to me. And I was kind of shocked. But then at the same time, like, he doesn't know. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, at this point, like, it's crazy. I'm probably more of a booker than I am a comic. And so, like, because I'm doing all these shows and venues. And so I got comics reaching out to me. And they'll send me clips. But the clips, I'm like, when someone sends me their clips, I'm thinking, okay, they recorded this and they're thinking this is the best representation of them. And so if they send it to me and it's like, where they're not getting laughs in their own clip, then it's just like, or just like, you could tell that it was just rusty, whatever. But to me, it means more if you said, hey, I saw you work with this guy on the show, like just hit him up or ask him, like if someone will co-sign for you, then I'm like, cool. Because I've had people where like, like you had I booked
Drea,
because because she had sent me a message before or whatever, but never clip. But you had said, hey, she, and I was like, oh,
she's great. Like, she's like a black lady stuck in a white lady's body. She's funny, but like you said, like it's someone you know. You know what I mean? You know me, and I know funny.
I got booked. I booked I needed the replacement for a show one time, and I had Isaiah Washington. He came out, he did the show because I asked my boy Taylor, I said, hey, is there anyone you could recommend? He was like, this kid from Fresno. He's only been doing like a year and a half, or he's like a
Oh,
year in.
the big guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had that Kaepernick joke,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah, that was
fucking
good.
the
Yeah.
most uncomfortable joke ever, but
Yeah.
the punch on it was so fucking good.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, he's a year in, and so he
Yeah.
recommended him. I was like, all right, cool. I'll put him on. I trust your judgment, and he crushed. So I was like, so to me, it's like, yeah, when I hear that, so because I saw you, I met you at Rooster Teeth, and I saw your set there, and then honestly, like I like booking people that I think are funny just conversationally,
Yeah.
and that.
Oh, that plays a big part. That plays a big part. People don't realize that too. I talk to comics who are like, I don't know why I'm not being booked and stuff. I'm like, you're not putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not.
The hang is important,
people.
man.
The hang is important. The hang is important because also the hang will indicate someone is funny. Maybe they're not as funny as the hang on stage, but they will be. But they will be.
Yeah.
I think the comic that is good, that's been doing it a long time, can go from the hang on the stage and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. It just becomes it's a second nature. It just becomes that's who they are.
Right. Right.
But
so
yeah, because I got a bunch of stuff coming up. Right now I'm booking for April 1st. That one I got Chad Opitz headline.
Oh, I love Chad Opitz.
Yeah, and I got the 19th at Corbin Cash. I got Daoud headlining.
Oh yeah, he's good.
And then Ryan Goodcase the 18th.
Yeah.
And then Gab the 17th. So
yeah.
So like I said, I try to mix it up, and like I try to get people from Bay, Sac, LA, wherever. Just to me, it's like people I think are funny and that I think are cool. Put them on, but yeah.
When shit opens up more, I'll be going to LA more. I know a couple people down there, and I know a really good comic friend of mine who has helped me a lot. Like I pass jokes by him all the time because he's been doing it for like 7 years. He just moved to San Diego, so he's gonna be getting connections down there.
I hear San Diego is like a really cool scene. They got La Jolla Club. They got the American Comedy.
That La Jolla Comedy Store is probably way easier to get into than the LA one.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean, San Diego's dope. I lived down there for a little bit. It's fucking sick.
I had a friend. She was managing this. I had just started too. She manages one of the Laugh Factories.
Oh shit!
And I've known her since she was a little kid, And me and her sister are really good friends. Her brother, I know her mom. I hit her up and I was, hey, I'm doing comedy now. She's like, dude, you gotta go to Hollywood. You gotta get past there, and then we'll talk. She said, I can put you on schedule if you get past there, but you gotta get past first. And I was like, oh yeah. Wow. And I knew. I told her that. I was like, yeah, I'm not that good. She's like, I know. That's why I would just book you. So I was like, wow. Oh, but I respected that because I was like, because she was doing more for me. She was like, I don't want you to go up there and just eat shit. And then the first time you come to LA, everyone's like, oh, this guy's a shit comic,
So let me tell you a quote I've heard over time is, you can get discovered early, but you can never get discovered too late. Something like that. I think I fucked that up. But
no, that makes sense.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like Ronnie Dangerfield, he failed the first time he did comedy. Took like 35
changed
years
his name
off.
like 3 times.
Changed his name, took 35 years off, and then was able to be successful. So hey, we got to wrap up. We've been over an hour. I'm really hoping the audio came out on this. I'll be fucking pissed if it doesn't work out.
It sounds good. I can hear it on my end, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I recorded this earlier with this mic and no sound popped up, and I did another test, but you have to wait for Zoom to send you an email with your recorded thing, and it wasn't sending. I'm like, Eric's just sitting there with his dick in his hand. He probably wants to get this going. So we're doing it.
Otherwise, fucking whatever. It's still cool.
Yeah, I appreciate. Yeah. Well, you might have to come back tomorrow and say everything the same thing. But no, I'll let you know. I'm sure it's fine. I'm just being paranoid.
We're gonna get you back out here soon. Like I said, I'm working on my April dates now, so we'll get you out here soon.
Consider me for April. Yeah. And if you're not doing anything Saturday, come out to fucking Sacramento. You can meet the booker. You can see me eat a dick and feel better about yourself. It'll be fun.
Yeah. No, it'd be good times, man. Yeah. No. Yeah. I said we'll just hang soon, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Eric. I love it.
All right, bro.
You're awesome. That was fun. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
Later.